No matter how many moon boys tell you how making $1 million or $2 million or $5 million should be very easy in crypto, let's face the music, guys. It's going to be a hard path ahead. But in this video, I'm going to tell you my path, how I plan to make $5 million out of this market with the altcoins, the narratives, and how much of these coins individually make up my portfolio. So yeah, if you're reading between the lines, you're realizing, hang on, this ain't a top 10 altcoin video. This is his portfolio. And it is. I'm taking you guys behind the curtains and giving you exactly what I've bought and how much they make up of my portfolio. Strap yourselves in. I know a lot of you have been waiting for an update on my portfolio, but do not forget, if you find yourself enjoying this video, you learn something new, and as a matter of fact, you want to become a part of the No BS family, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help support me, help support you, so we can become one big, happy, no bullshit family. Now, if you're getting curious, all right, I'm not going to give you my actual entry and exit price, mainly because in level 2, link down below, you will have access to everything about me and my portfolio, as well as why I buy or sell coins or what I'm planning to buy, all right? So this has everything behind the curtains. You can even see how much of these coins I'm purchasing as I purchase them. Up to you, but if you wanted more information, it's of course there. I wanted to point it out because I know some of you guys value that information on the fly in a fast-paced market like crypto. So first of all, I want to introduce you to my whole portfolio, which is this right here, okay? There's 17 coins. There's 15 distinct main narratives that we hit. Actually, there is a lot more, but that's the main ones in this case. And I want to go over exactly what you're looking at right here. You can see I've given some examples here on some of the average sell prices and multiples being made, just to give you guys an example with this. But a very important thing to note is selling in crypto. You can only theorize how much money you can make out of this market. You actually need to materialize it. A lot of you don't understand that you have crazy price predictions on these coins, all right, where you have like, you know, Solana going to $2,000 or XRP to $12, Cardano to $13. You have some of these crazy things, right? But what you need to do is materialize gains. It all looks good on paper, but I want you right now to think about how much you value making money out of this bull run. Invest in yourself. So part of being in the private community, guys, we also have the bull run exit tracker, in which I'm using a modified version of this today, obviously ignoring buy price, sell price, and a bunch of other stuff to show you this video today. But if you wanted to get your hands on this sheet, set things up properly, follow my instructions on how to do this, then of course, being in that private community as well, level 1 or above, will get you the best possible chance to exit in the safest possible way. But first of all, some portfolio management advice for you all. I think for the general crypto investor, no more than 15 altcoins should do you well. If you have more than 15 coins, be my guest. But generally speaking, 10 minutes of research per altcoin per day is what you'll likely need to do as the bull run moves on. So if you have 15 altcoins, that's 150 minutes, which is over 2 hours. That is a lot of time per day to be researching. And if you don't do this full time, or if you have a very intensive work life, then that's not practical. And you might be thinking, Kai, there's no room for diversification in that case. What are you talking about, man? Guys, diversification in 10 altcoins is definitely possible. You must diverse based on narrative. Now, for my portfolio, I have, again, about 15 narratives, distinct narratives. I'll go over these per coin as well. And the most important thing for you is keeping your portfolio manageable. I have 17 coins, and I'm very happy about that. Will I go above 17? Maybe by 1 or 2 coins, but I will not exceed 20 altcoins. That is too much for even me to handle. Now, one of the most important things people overlook as well is setting realistic goals, and I've outlined my goals very clearly here. I want 9 properties at 33% down payment each. I want some cash. I want some money to reinvest back into crypto in the next bull run. And I've got some other business ventures I want to try to accomplish over my lifetime. So I plan to get out of the market a total of 5.75 million AUD. That works out to be in US 3.795 million, but including tax, it's about 4.6 million USD. So no matter what way you look at it, it's around about 5 million USD. It's over 5 mil AUD, but either way, you have to account for tax as well. But the important thing about doing this is that now I have a target on what my end goal is. So if I'm investing $100,000, I know I need to 50x my money to achieve that goal. Okay, so a lot of you don't do this and you end up saying, I want to make $1 billion this bull run from $1,000. I need to 1 trillion X. And you put that pressure on yourself. If you realize what your actual goals are and you start from here, you can go to yourself, well, now I'm investing $100,000. I need to 50x that money to make my $5 million. And if that 50x for you is like, I can't find these altcoins, then you just simply start shaving down your goals. Guys, I had a nice new Corvette a part of my goal sheet. I had like 13 properties, a part of my goal sheet. And I went to myself, there's no way I can achieve this with these altcoins. And there's no altcoin I'm comfortable with putting up 25 or 30x on. It's just not possible. It's too much risk. So, of course, given my risk tolerance, I pulled it all down and became realistic and set new goals. You must do this, and I cannot stress enough, you will go wrong in this bull run expecting too much and getting yourself stressed out. Now, I'm exposed to 15 primary narratives, meaning they're coins are the most known for these areas. It pretty much hits every single 10 out of 10 ranking narrative there is, apart from meme coins, but I do have Foxy, so that does count there. I also have 3 of the 9 ranking narratives, and I have most of the 8 ranking narratives and 7 ranking narratives in my portfolio. Again, I'll go over some more I'm not actually mentioning here, like Solana ecosystem-based project, base ecosystem-based projects as well. All in all, you want to hit as many different narratives as possible, which gives you the best chance at getting these coins to explode. My highest holding altcoin is Pith. Currently have 11.9% of my portfolio invested in Pith, and when I sell this coin at the end of the bull run, I will have about 7.9% of my portfolio in Pith, which means, yes, it's actually losing its dominance in my portfolio, which is fine because I have so much invested in it. Of course, I'm de-risking by getting out at a lower level. So this coin here is obviously in the Solana ecosystem. So a massive part of the bull run is Solana, and also Oracle as well. This coin is actually the number 1 Oracle play, I think, of the bull run. We have Chainlink, of course, which technically speaking is the number 1 Oracle in terms of total value secured. It has 30 billion total value secured, but Pith's not too far behind. DeFi Llama says it's about 5.5 billion here, but actually it's much more. It's connected to over 84 blockchains, which of course, if we come over here, Chainlink is only connected to about 20, and it's got 8.7 billion TVS. So it's, almost 50% more than what it is showing on here, which is quite incredible. So it's a lot closer to Chainlink than just 5 billion. It almost is about a third of what Chainlink secures, which is pretty incredible, again, considering how new the project is. It's got most of the total value secured on very important layer 1 ecosystems like Solana, like Sui, and also has a large chunk of TON as well. Some of you might be thinking to yourself, Kyron, the unlock schedule is ridiculous for Pith. Look at all these tokens still to come out. Guys, if we remove the third parties in this equation, we remove the community and launch, which I would really not even consider anyway, but let's remove them for argument's sake, and the private sales, you can see here that, again, that's only a small sliver of who gets the tokens. A small sliver. So most of these tokens are going to ecosystem and growth. It's going to publisher rewards and protocol development. All net positive things for the growth of Pith. They aren't going to be sold in the open market, therefore price won't be impacted. But even if it is from the private sales, they don't have much at all. As well as being, again, the de facto oracle for Solana, to me, there's no doubt in my mind that Pith is going to be a heavy hitter of the bull run and leave many people surprised. The coin I own a very close second of is Wormhole. I own 11.2% of my portfolio in this coin, and after the bull run, when I sell all my coins, it'll make up around about 9.1%. So if you don't know Wormhole already, again, this is a Solana ecosystem play project. So again, I'm kind of hedging quite heavily here into the growth of Solana. This is the de facto, not Oracle like Pith, but the interoperability, so the cross-chain solution for Solana. In and out of the Solana ecosystem, they also do have a whole bunch of their own projects built on top or integrating with them as well. And the way we know that's actually working, and it's not just a fugazi fun idea, is they have over 50 billion total volume traded across this bridge since inception, which is huge. Massive. They've also just breached 1 billion total messages or transaction. A message is a much more complicated transaction. You can see here, they're transferring a lot of volume to the major layer 1s and layer 2s of the ecosystem. And personally speaking, I think right now it's still a steal. Under $1 billion market cap, 27 cents. The chart's not sexy, but it's because it launched literally as the market began to crash. It was horrible timing launch, but that shouldn't take away from the quality of the coin in my personal opinion. They also do have a lot to offer here coming up for this bull run. Native swaps. They also do have institutional push as well. So they're focusing on Web 2 and onboarding Web 2. You can see here they're launching the industry's first multi-chain governance solution. This, if actually applied, will be a massive turn on for many of the applications built cross-chain like Uniswap and so on. Now, just like every other low float, high supply coin that's launched recently, again, the chart looks daunting here. But if we remove the third parties, right, the founders and team and the private investors, not the reserve, not the community rounds, just the third parties, you can see it's a small slither of the supply, a little bit on the top and a little bit in the top in the gray area here. So these don't start unlocking until April of next year. So we very well could have most of our sell levels even hit on Wormhole by then. But even max worst case December of 2025, it's going to be fine. Most of the supply is going to be towards, again, the net positive growth of the Wormhole ecosystem. That's why I'm not concerned with this sort of chart. Matter of fact, this chart's much better than the charts that have all the tokens in the supply, because that means all of the whales, all of the VCs that got in at 1,000x cheaper than the current price have all their tokens to dump, and there is no incentive to not kill the token because they can just get out and leave. They don't have a whole bunch more tokens to still unlock. Now, I've invested about 9.1% of my entire portfolio into this coin, and at the end of the cycle, it'll be about 8.8%, and that is ICP. Now, why ICP? It's an infrastructure AI play. Now, they're doing a whole bunch more stuff as well with Bitcoin and leveraging Bitcoin for liquidity for DeFi. But AI intrigues me the most because this is where I believe the narrative will latch onto the most. You can see here, Dom, the founder and CEO, recently put up a new bio on Twitter, World Computer Network, where AI builds with humans. He hinted at this not long ago. And if you actually have a look at Definity's thumbnail here or their background, right, this actually says AI running fully on the blockchain, possible with ICP. They can run full LLMs, hundreds of gigabytes in size on a single smart contract they call canisters. Very flexible, very customizable. And guys, again, the ecosystem might not be the largest out there right now, definitely not comparable with something like Ethereum. But if you compare it to other ecosystems, kind of like Sui and those that are still emerging, it's not too bad at all. It's the narrative that will mainly carry the project. And again, that's why I've chosen ICP here. Hits the AI right on the sweet spot. The coin I own 8% of my portfolio in, and at the bull run, it'll go down to a nice and crisp 5%, is none other than a massive AI play, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. The partnership between SingularityNet, Fetch, and Ocean, they've now recently brought on a new project here, Kudos, as well. So technically 4 projects, but 3 initially created the alliance. These guys bring in their own individual expertise in different areas. You have SingularityNet here. The founder, Ben Gerzel, was pretty much one of the masterminds behind AI in general. We have Ocean Protocol bringing in a whole bunch of data-driven AI functions. And we also have Fetch as well. Fetch are great for the AI agent narrative, and they have a whole bunch of GPUs they've also purchased as well to allow them to run all these sort of complicated AI models on chain. Now, recently they had a massive update and announcement regarding an AI bot or model, if you will, called Eris, which disrupts the current paradigm in reinforcement learning by enabling AI to learn autonomously from real-time interactions without relying on pre-coded rules or vast data sets. It's a plug and play. You send this thing into a game or an environment or whatever it may be, and it learns itself on the spot as it goes. Just like how humans learn from being in an environment and making mistakes and then obviously figuring things out. So this is just launched and we're finding some really cool applications for it already. We also have the integration with Fetch and Fetch's products, the AI agents for Injective as well, which will be fantastic, generating revenue, of course, for ASI. I do think this coin can supersede $10 this bull run. I don't think any problem at all. Personally, I am betting on that fact as well, but I still only have 5% of this as my portfolio when I do sell overall. Now, I own about 7.8% of my portfolio in Celestia, which will trickle down to just under 6% at the end of the day. And this coin, I think, is a fantastic play into the modularity space, which we have seen proven right now to be a very effective narrative of the bull run. These guys are also mainly in the narrative of data availability, which pretty much just means they provide infrastructure for other networks, mainly other layer 2s that want to be spun up very quickly and have high efficiency and security. So these guys have currently 45% of the total market share of data availability, which is actually a lot. They're on 21 different chains, and majorly over here, they've got support on every single type of framework to create rollups, right? So these projects like AltLayer that want to create layer 2s or offer layer 2s as a service, they're all connected with Celestia. Now, these guys have a massive amount of funding. They actually completed one of their massive funding rounds recently over here, $100 million in September of this year. They've onboarded a whole bunch more users at quite a high valuation, I do believe, which means, of course, that's good for us because we likely are right now underneath that valuation that they actually got in at. They also have a very bullish roadmap. And if you guys are following the channel, you know how good a bullish roadmap is because when these announcements are made in a bull run, guess what? Articles are made about it. YouTubers make videos on the articles, which is free marketing for these projects, and the price goes up. Everyone gets FOMO. Celestia is doing this and that and so on. So we're looking at the roadmap right now, and you can see here, one of the most important things I think you have to see on this roadmap is the Solana Layer 2 update. They're planning on creating Layer 2s for Solana. You guys get the narrative, right? A big area of this market. Solana doesn't have capabilities for Layer 2s because it's fast enough to handle everything as a Layer 1. If these guys create Layer 2s and therefore spawns a whole Layer 2 narrative for Solana, it's going to be massive for the price of Celestia. Like the other projects, this one has a massively ugly looking vesting schedule, and this is the one that is actually applicably bad, objectively bad, should I say, right? It's a lot of these tokens going to all VCs pretty much from here. So while I don't think they'll all sell, because by the time we'll likely be selling out of this coin latest in December of 2025, they won't have all their tokens. They'll have about a half to 3/5, if you will, but they won't want to kill the token. So I don't necessarily know exactly what price I want to sell at, but since they are up substantially right now, I want to front run them by getting out a little bit lower than what these guys, I believe, will likely want to sell at, which could be into the 3 figures, right? Into the hundreds of dollars. So I'm selling under $100, let's just put it that way. Yes, I think the coin can go above $100. Matter of fact, I think based on just data, market cap, and supply, it could definitely go into the near the 200s, if you will. But again, will the VCs dump that before then? I don't know. That's why I'm front running them. So I've invested about 7.6% of all my cash into Manta, and I'm looking to get about 5%. I'll admit, guys, this is the only coin in my portfolio that I'm not entirely pleased with. I still think I'll make my money just because it's not a bad coin whatsoever, but it's by far the coin that I'm looking at as I kind of don't really want to hold this coin. If I could click my fingers and sell this coin at a break even, I would do it in a heartbeat. Now, again, once this coin makes multiples back, I'm going to be fine about it. But if I could go back in time, I definitely would. Now, it's a 300 mil market cap, okay? It's ranked 177, so it's not doing too bad. But why I'm disappointed is a few different reasons. One of those reasons is that it's just not being highly engaged with right now, which I get it isn't the be-all and end-all. These things ebb and flow with the market. There is periods of high interest, low interest for every single coin on the market, but mainly with their website. I do not like when developers get lazy with updating their website and like to hold on to peaks. What I mean by this is if we come down here, they claim to have $600 million in TVL from all their campaigns they were running when they did have that much. But if you actually have a look on DeFi Llama, it's only $42 million at least right now. So that ain't that much, okay? Unless I'm missing something significant here, unless this is locked up on Manta, and for some reason DeFi Llama doesn't pick up on that, it's a little bit disingenuous or lazy to be best, right? The good news about Manta is that most of these VCs get only a little bit of the supply, and that's including in December of 2025. If we get out likely what I think the bull run will be pretty much done and dusted over here, these guys are getting barely anything you can see on the top here, and they can't dump, right? Which is fantastic. There's no massive sell pressure here from VCs with Manta. So that's one redeeming factor of the coin. Now, the main thing that I like about Manta is this universal circuits from ZKPs, or zero knowledge proofs. That's a pretty interesting use case. It hits layer 2s, and it's also a ZKP project, as I just mentioned. So there are redeeming factors for it. But again, I'm just a little bit disappointed that I've gone so maybe heavy into the coin when maybe really I shouldn't have. So it was a bad boy. The coin I earn 6.4% on, but I'm actually gaining more at the end of the bull run is Aerodrome Finance. Guys, I was buying this coin quite early on, and being subscribed to the channel, you would know why. This coin's TVL is increasing dramatically. $1.4 billion in TVL, but the market cap's only $1 billion. So it's obviously an increase as a 1-to-1 ratio, which is very rare to come by. And what's even rarer to come by is the fact that this coin is the #1 DeFi coin in the space, yet so undervalued compared to projects like Uniswap and others. Now, Aerodrome is a leading DEX on base. So it hits not just DeFi, but also the base ecosystem as well. So I hit multiple heads in this case. And you can see here, it just destroys Uniswap in terms of volume. These guys hit 1 billion volume in a single day, and they generate more revenue than Ethereum, which has been the leader in revenue for a very, very long time now. So this coin is right up the base ecosystem alley, right up DeFi alley, and it gives money back to people who put money into it, which is the true embodiment of crypto. Injective Protocol is the coin I've invested 5.6% in, and I'm looking to get a little bit more at the end of the bull run at about 5.7%. If you're unfamiliar with this amazing project, Mina's USP or unique selling point is a layer 1 project, but it's heavily involved with ZK proofs or zero knowledge proofs, like Manta had before, right? Except these guys plan to keep the whole blockchain at 22 kilobytes in size. And I made a full review on the technicals years ago on how this works. Yes, that's how much conviction I've got in this coin. Other blockchains go up to hundreds of gigabytes in size, even up to a terabyte, like with Bitcoin. But the way that these guys stay literally the same size as a single tweet is essentially like you can imagine taking a photo and printing that photo out, having a copy of it, and then taking a photo of the photo, and then if you want to as well, a photo of the photo of the photo. In that case, you can zoom in and see the original photo through the first photo. Therefore, all that information is stored on that photo, as long as you can see it, which you can with this technology. That's how it essentially works. They recently just allowed people to build applications on Mina, which wasn't done before. So the previous pump in the last cycle, right, and earlier this year, was all done on just an idea, on a theory. And now we actually have a tangible sort of application layer to build on, which is fantastic because the more developers come in, the more the price goes up. It's simple. You build a community that way. Updates like running Mina in Mina. Updates like compile any code to Mina, which means you can pretty much have any language from different networks on Mina and running on Mina, so developers can just build whatever they want and bring it to Mina and leverage privacy. And my own personal favorite out of all of this updates coming out likely this year or next is this, the ZK oracles, where developers can pull any bit of information from the internet without that, provider knowing they're pulling information from it to use as an oracle service within crypto. This would change the game, and I guarantee you if this comes out in 2025, it's going to blow the space away. These new applications built on the network itself have a whole bunch of awesome features like privacy, no gas fees, and a whole bunch of other tech jargon stuff that makes developers itch and want to start using it. So I'm obviously very committed to Mina Protocol, and I think this coin can for sure go above $5. Now, if you're getting a bit of an itchy hand thinking to yourself, well, Kyron, I want to get involved with these coins, right? Where can I buy them? Well, guys, Bitunics has hooked us up. They don't just offer a non-KYC exchange to allow you to buy these coins, but right now we're doing a campaign until November 30th, where the more you deposit and trade, the more money you get back. You can literally get up to 11,000 USDT. And matter of fact, if you come and join our trading group right now, link down below, the trading corner, you have access to not just the benefits of Bitunics, but also a whole bunch of great features we have for you on offer as well, like 1 month of the trading corner access for only trading 200K worth of volume. And we have up to 20 levels, allowing you to get a further $11,000 as well. This stuff is going to compound insanely, guys. You won't find this anywhere else. I'm learning how to trade myself. You can see here today, I made a 242% gain on Render. I also opened a trade on BTC and closed out at 120%, and also XRP. I don't even own XRP, but again, I'm learning how to trade here. I'm making some money, allowing me to put money back in to buy more of these altcoins. If you're not learning how to trade, guys, you're doing something wrong. You can learn with me and make some good money back as well. Links down below. Go sign up. You will thank yourself for it after the bull run's all said and done. So I've invested 5.5% and will end the bull run with a lot more at 7.7% of Flux. What is Flux? It's an AI deep in play, only a 200 million market cap coin. It is a proof of work project, except rather than, the heavy computational power that Bitcoin wastes, well, that gets siphoned into AI, rendering, machine learning, all that different kind of stuff. So it's obviously very efficient, very green, and of course hits the AI narrative as well. You can actually run a full website on Flux, so it acts as a cloud service as well. So yes, you can go ahead and compete with Amazon, Microsoft, and Google far cheaper. Full integration with WordPress, so you can run your own website on this. As a matter of fact, you can run your own nodes. Zero downtime since they've been alive, and 13,000 total nodes. This is a true crypto project and play, and reminds me of Kadena from the previous cycle. Kadena was a proof of work blockchain that just simply said they're very, very fast. No proof of such, they just claimed they were very fast. And in the last cycle, they did an 80x pretty much in a couple months. I think Flux has that capability. I wouldn't say an 80x, but definitely can do between a 30 and 40x from the current prices if the market presents itself correctly and Flux continues to market itself. Just like Flux, another AI deep in coin I own 5.5% in right now is Render. Now, I actually am diminishing this to about 3.6% at the end of the bull run, but I think it's a safe play, personally speaking. I don't have any qualms with the project doing well. I just, again, want to have at least some of these coins making very safe returns. Now, this coin at about a 3 billion market cap might seem daunting, but it does have most of the tokens in supply. And again, it's in key narratives of the bull run. run. They recently revamped their website, which is good timing, of course, and they're smart enough to know this because as the new money flows in, as beginners join the space, they like the quick, short, attention-grabbing designs, and that's what the new homepage now presents. Now, they also are partnered with massive players thanks to their parent company, Otoy, where you can see partnerships like this. Literally a quote from Google saying, "Render is a game changer for ultra-high-resolution production, machine learning, and augmented rendering workflows, and next-generation immersive media formats." And same with Microsoft. We are thrilled to be part of Otoy's new render network and deliver enterprise-level hybrid GPU cloud rendering with Microsoft. Now, the founder, Jules Urbach of Render itself, is very close buddies with NVIDIA's founder. Now, this is important. They've actually had conferences back when Render first was announced like years ago, or at least they were working on distributed rendering. AI is heavily pinned to the success of NVIDIA, I believe's earnings report. And that means that I think Render will scoop up any sort of positive news in that department. It's a clear winner in my personal opinion. Now, one of my huger plays here is Aether. I own about 5.2%, but I'm looking to swell that to almost double at 9.8% of my portfolio. I was able to pick this coin up quite recently, and a lot of it for quite cheap in my opinion. So I'm able to get more out of the coin to bring up my portfolio. So Aether is about 6 cents right now, which is pretty incredible how fast it's grown. But the reason why I love this project so much is for a few very important reasons. One, heavily focused in the AI department and mainly the DeepIn department as well. These guys are the most profitable AI DeepIn project out there right now. These guys had a $36 million ARR, or annual recurring revenue, with a 10% month-on-month growth. Now, they have a whole bunch of GPUs running behind the scenes, like 3,000 NVIDIA H100s. Now, a single H100 is like $30,000, or at least it was. They have the H200s out now, I believe. Very, very small supply, a lot of demand. So the fact that they have 3,000 is fantastic, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I'm so bullish, is because projects like IONET, which is one of their partnerships here, will rely on this vast GPU network to process their LLMs, right, their AI models. Now, also, again, low float, high supply here. Most of the tokens will be out here by December. But again, if you remove investors and the team, as you can see, there aren't massive amounts of the supply. So that's obviously a very good thing. You can see the investors don't really start getting their money until over here. And at that, it's a very small amount. Near Protocol is another massive hitter for me. I have about 4.2% of my invested amount in it right now, and it'll swell to about 9.2%. So it'd be a large chunk of the portfolio like Aether as well. And the reason being is because I was buying this coin way back at $1, okay? And also, it's a fantastic project, mind you. It is a high market cap right now, but the market's validated it, in my opinion, right? It is going to be a successful project because it hits very large narratives. As you can see, they're not shy in blasting AI all over the place, right? You can see even up here, Near AI is right at the very, very top bar. They're looking to increase their AI network from just a marketplace where you can hire out AI developers to now actually integrating AI within your protocol itself. They're also hitting a couple other narratives, right? Data availability like Celestia, but also one that hasn't been spoken about too much, which is account abstraction. This just means having a single place like Near Protocol that connects to every single blockchain, every single application. So as an end user like me and you, we come on board, we just use Near Protocol, and we can interact with everything. One token, any chain, all liquidity, one chain, it connects everything. Now, if this ramps up in terms of it becomes a pretty key narrative, Near Protocol is going to effing skyrocket. I tell you right now, they are pushing this. They are one step ahead of most, and so that's why I'm hedging so heavily into Near Protocol for this cycle. Now, for these next few coins, I'll be quite quick here because they don't hold much of a percent of my current portfolio. So I do have Injective Protocol in here as well. These guys have about 3.7% invested, and they will end the bull run with about 4.3% invested. Now, I love these guys because they are a deflationary token. They've burnt like 6 million Injective tokens. It's got a great community behind it. And again, I think this will go above possibly a $200 token price. With the recent integration with ASI, bringing on Fetch's AI agents to allow us, or at least developers, to plug and play AI models within Injective's DeFi ecosystem, it's going to be groundbreaking. These guys are now looking at onboarding institutional investors. I made a recent video on Injective. It was last night's video, so go and check that out. I go into much more detail on this coin. Now, the coin I own 2.8% of that I'm going to be getting a little bit less on, which is 2.4%, is Ondo. Now, like I've said, I plan to buy a lot more Ondo. As a matter of fact, I'm going to likely buy some more tonight. Reason being is because you can see here from this recent post from Not Telling, is that it looks like Binance is buying a whole bunch of Ondo tokens for a possible listing sometime soon. They're not currently on Binance, and unlocking this will instantly get it to go up in price. And I think this listing comes at a good time, tactically good time, and it'll bring in more money in perpetuity as well, because the more exchanges, the more reach, the more money, the higher the price goes. Pretty simple stuff. These guys are a real world asset powerhouse. They're partnered with BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, and a whole bunch of others. They've also done work with Injective as well. Guys, I love Ondo. I only own a small percent comparable to other coins I own in this portfolio, but mark my words, I do plan on buying more, especially if this Binance listing happens. It's going to be a quick trade. So you're going to make sure you join the trading group down below. The coin I own 3.1% of, and I plan to bring that up to 4.3%, is Beam, my only gaming play of the bull run. Now, I did have Immutable X, but I did sub it for Beam for the higher multiples and a little bit more risk with Beam. But the recent wells noticed with Immutable X gave me more of a convincing point to sell that Immutable at basically break even and move into Beam. Now, this isn't a decision for everyone. I still love Immutable X, and I do think it's going to do well now that the Trump administration has won, therefore possibly easing some of the constraints on coins like IMX. But I made this decision before Trump had won, and as a matter of fact, anyway, I do think Beam has a bit more of a meme behind it right now. The token price is so small. The reason why it is small is all intentional. This project was once called Merit Circle, which had a much larger token price, and they swapped to Beam because it just looks better and you can buy more tokens, which degens seem to love. Now, Becca has pointed out Beam a few times, and I do agree with him. I think it could possibly go to half the market cap of AVAX, and if AVAX goes to where I think it deserves to go at roughly 100 billion market cap this cycle, then Beam has a good chance of going to a 20, 30, or 40 billion market cap, or around about there, which would send its price upwards of 40 cents. It also does hit the AVAX ecosystem as well, so there is a double narrative there as well. I own 2.4% of XLR and plan to sell out at roughly a total of 3.1% of my portfolio. I love this coin. This is, again, just like Wormhole, it's interoperability as well, so it connects many different blockchains together, and they created their own token standard as well as messaging format. Now, it's also got a whole bunch of interesting partners as well. You can see if I scroll down the very bottom here, they have applications with Uniswap, but possible connections with some large Web2 players. So a lot of influencers do hold this coin. Again, I've mentioned this many times now, but I do think this is for a direct reason. I think this is one of the more undervalued plays of the, I guess, inter-network space, just like Wormhole, Layer Zero, and others. So it's not as large as Wormhole, all right? It's got about 1/5 of the amount of volume and a lot less transactions, but it's a lot newer as well. Wormhole's actually been operational for quite a long time now. It just hasn't had a token. These guys are kind of a bit newer. And lastly, my small play of the cycle, barely could even argue mentioning it on this list, is Synesis One. This coin I don't have much invested at all, by far the lowest, 0.3% of my portfolio, and I plan to keep it that way when I do sell it. I think this coin can skyrocket. It's currently at 3.5 cents, and this coin has been as high as 20 cents before, okay? So it definitely has that potential. One of the high gainers, it's a train to earn AI model where you basically have people who want to leverage AI, but have the problem of needing the AI to train in order to be functional on whatever they're using it for. So you can go on to whether it's games or, typing specific phrases in or interacting with these AI models to train them, and you get SNS tokens as rewards. They have massive VCs, like 5 S-tier investors right here. But the most important thing, again, is, guys, that this is a very small market cap coin. So there is high potential for growth, but also high potential for it to go to zilch. Even as good as it sounds, there is that as well. So guys, that will conclude today's video. I do plan on looking to invest in a few coins like Maple Finance. I did sell my Goldfinch somewhat recently and want to look to replace that with a direct competitor. So Maple Finance is on the list. So is a project called Spectral as well, an AI play into the AI agent realm, and a couple other projects that I may want to pick up, especially in the real world asset and AI areas. Thank you all. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Take good care. Bye-bye.